Hi everyone. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, in a small village on the edge of the forest, there lived a little girl with her mother. The little girl always wore a red cloak, so everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. The cloak had been made for her by her grandmother, who lived in a cozy little house in the woods. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother asked her to take a basket full of food to her grandmother, who had recently fallen ill. Little Red Riding Hood was proud that her mother had entrusted her with such an important task.
Don't linger on the way and be careful,
her mother warned her.
And above all, don't talk to any strangers you might meet on your way.
Little Red Riding Hood took the basket and skipped happily into the woods. It was a beautiful day, and the little girl was convinced that nothing bad could happen to her. Suddenly, she met a wolf who was very tempted to eat her, but he didn't dare because some woodcutters were chopping wood not far away.
"Where are you going, little girl?"
asked the wolf in a soft voice. Little Red Riding Hood looked at the wolf.
That wolf doesn't look very dangerous,
she thought.
I am going to see my grandmother and bring her some cakes and a little pot of butter that my mother prepared for her.
The little girl replied. The wolf seized the opportunity.
"I know that house,"
he said.
"and I also know a shortcut to get there. You just have to take this path."
Little Red Riding Hood thanked the wolf.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Wolf,
she said.
Thank you for your help.
Then she went on her way down the other path. As Little Red Riding Hood walked through the forest, she noticed some wildflowers.
I have plenty of time,
she said to herself, picking a few flowers.
This pretty bouquet will cheer up Grandma.
Meanwhile, the wolf took the shorter path and ran as fast as he could to the grandmother's house. He knew he would arrive before Little Red Riding Hood. When he got to the house, he knocked 3 times on the door.
"Who is there?"
asked the grandmother.
"It is me, Grandma,"
replied the wolf, changing his voice.
"I have brought you some cakes and a little pot of butter. May I come in?"
"Pull the bobbin, and the latch you'll go up, dear,"
answered the grandmother, who was too weak to get up. The wolf entered the house under the grandmother's astonished eyes. He jumped on the bed and swallowed the old woman in one gulp. Then he put on one of her nightgowns and a cap that belonged to her. He lay down in bed and waited for Little Red Riding Hood. When Little Red Riding Hood arrived at her grandmother's house, she knocked on the door.
"Who is there?"
asked a deep voice. Little Red Riding Hood jumped with fright, but then thought that her grandmother must have a cold.
It is me, Little Red Riding Hood,
she said.
I have brought you some cakes and a little pot of butter that Mother prepared for you.
"Pull the bobbin and the latch will go up, dear,"
replied the wolf, softening his voice. Little Red Riding Hood opened the door, put her basket on the table, and walked toward her grandmother's bed. She thought her grandmother looked much stranger than usual.
Grandmother, what big ears you have,
she said.
"All the better to hear you with, my child,"
replied the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood looked more closely.
Grandmother, what big eyes you have,
she exclaimed.
"All the better to see you with, my child,"
growled the wolf.
Oh, Grandmother, what big teeth you have,
whispered the little girl.
"All the better to eat you with,"
roared the wolf. With these words, the wolf leapt upon Little Red Riding Hood and swallowed her whole. Now full, the wolf fell into a deep sleep. A woodcutter passing by heard snoring coming from the grandmother's house.
How strange,
he thought. He decided to take a look to make sure everything was all right. When he opened the door, how surprised he was to see a sleeping wolf with a huge, swollen belly lying on the grandmother's bed. The woodcutter recognized the wolf. It was the same one that had stolen all the sheep from his village. Every time he was caught, the wolf somehow managed to escape. The woodcutter knew he had to act quickly if he wanted to save the grandmother and get rid of the beast once and for all. He decided not to wake the wolf. Carefully, he cut open the wolf's belly and was amazed to find not only the grandmother, but also Little Red Riding Hood inside. The little girl and her grandmother were overjoyed to be saved. They hugged each other tightly and thanked the woodcutter. They even invited him to share their snack.
From now on, I will think twice before talking to a stranger,
said Little Red Riding Hood to herself. And they all lived happily ever after, except for the wolf, who would never bother anyone again. And that's it. The story is over. I hope you enjoyed it. We will see each other very soon for more stories. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss anything. See you soon.